Hey, all bunch of puncher here, and I got some more Street Fighter 6 footage for you all. This might potentially be my most controversial video, potentially ever in my YouTube career. But the title is not clickbait. I will actually post the image here showing that at least for a little short time, I was the second lowest rated MR player in Street Fighter 6. And I did it as kind of this experiment to see not only how difficult it is to get to that rank, but to kind of explore lower MR matchmaking in Street Fighter 6. Now, I should state that I'm no longer the second lowest player. That since then I have gained some MR, and I've kind of moved away from. Well, I'm moving away from that lower end of the MR matchmaking, but I guess the question that might be on a lot of your minds is, why did I do this? So, for those of you who might be new to the channel, a little while back ago, I recently hit, master rank with Akuma, and this is like the first fighting game that I've ever taken like ranked seriously. In other fighting games, I either just play casual matches, or the game is so old that the ranked isn't really relevant to anything. Um, but yeah, as a part of that process of me, grinding to ranked, I did on my off time, I would do research on trying to understand, like, okay, how does like Street Fighter Six's ranking system work? How does ranked work in the whole master bracket, right? And as a part of that research, I came across this Reddit post talking about, at the time, I believe this post was dated like a year ago, talking about like the worst rated MR player in Street Fighter 6, which was a Ken player. I think he was around like 732. And the post had a bunch of comments like of people kind of surprised that someone actually got that low with their MR, and saying that, oh, it's like, how does this even happen? It's impossible because again, this is from my reading. Most players who at least play rank, I mean, okay, most master rank players sit around 1500, because like when you get into master rank, it defaults you to around that spot, give or take. So most people get to master rank and then they stop playing, so their master rank sits at around that point, right? But for people that continue to play ranked, then they're especially when you're first getting into masters, it usually dips to like 1300 or like 1200. Maybe the lowest is like 1100, right? But that's like, I think that most players are in that like 1200 to like 1500 range, give or take, right? So it's surprising to see someone below that bracket. And so I was kind of curious to try and test it. Like, okay, how difficult is it actually to get your MR that low? And my conclusion is, yeah, it is kind of difficult. Like, because again, master rank works off like an elo system. So the lower your MR goes, the less points that you lose, especially when you're engaging with like higher level players. Towards like the end of this whole little experiment of mine, if I fought anyone, for example, above like 1400 MR, I would basically lose like nothing, right? Because my own MR was that low, right? The only time I ever really lost, like if you dipped below, I would say like 1000 MR, you only really lost if you fought people at like 1200 MR, even like 1100 MR, right? But I guess I'll also say, when I say that this whole quote unquote challenge was difficult, it's not a matter of skill. It's more so just a matter of like patience. You have to fight like a lot of matches for your MR to really dip this low, and your progress is slowed by, like I said, the fact that over time you don't just like lose as much. And when you're dipping into like the lower MR, I think you're like kind of matched up against like Diamond 5 players that are getting into master rank, or like people that like just entered master rank, and if you lose against them, you don't lose any master rank, right? So took a little while, but eventually I did do it, and it was just, I mean, potentially maybe I could have dipped it lower, but honestly, I just lost the patience, and I think I got what I wanted from this this whole experiment. But lower MR matchmaking is kind of weird. I think you kind of run into a similar problem that you have with like higher MR matchmaking. So again, at least from my own research, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but like especially when you get to like legend rank or like even like grandmaster and stuff like that, it's harder for players that, let's say, aren't in Japan to reach like legend rank because you're if you reach high enough in your MR, you're not like, depending on like your region, you're not really paired up with like Japanese players, right? So your MR kind of, it does the same thing that like mine did, but in the opposite direction. It kind of plateaus because you're not really gaining much from even beating like 1400 or 1500 MR players, right? So I think there's like even a trick where you have to like use a VPN to switch your location to Japan so you could fight legend rank players, so then you could raise it up to be in legend rank. Again, I might be wrong in that. That might be outdated information. But yeah, I had a similar problem with low MR. For example, throughout this whole like kind of experiment, I never fought a sub 1000 MR player. I never got matched up with them. Part of that could be, again, region differences. Part of that could also be the fact that we just weren't on the same time, because again, you're dealing with like a low populated bracket of like master ranks, so there's just not a lot of players there to really match up with. But yeah, I guess I guess I will also say, if by the off chance anyone that I've fought has come across this video that I fought during this whole experiment, I apologize if you wanted more of a fight from me. To be fair, in my defense, I did somewhat try to fight people. I didn't do like the ultimate speed run of just completely throwing a match like I would, because I didn't want to get completely rusty on Street Fighter 6. So what I would do is I would like fight the player, but fight my opponent, but I would never just like commit to the win. I would usually stop short of winning and then just let them take the points or whatever. For a lot of you, I know that might not justify this, and I know like, because you can argue this just, again, in general, cuts at the integrity of like competition between like ranked players, but like whatever, dude. It's not like even if I try my best, I'm usually going to sit around like 1300 1200 MR, and I like to explore the fringes of fighting games. Sue me. I don't think I would recommend this to anybody else that wants to do this. You don't really gain anything. I mean, to be honest, probably a lot of my observations I've made here could have just been inferred by like knowing what an ELO system is. But it's just more of a patience thing than anything else. And again, I apologize to anybody that like actually wanted to fight for me, that encountered me during this whole experiment. If you want to fight me again, I'm open to take the challenge so we can actually have a fight. Always down for that. My what is it called? Like Capcom tag or whatever. I don't know what the Capcom username thing is called, but like it's in the video. Bunch of puncha. Accepting all challengers. But if you're willing to apologize, or if you're willing to accept my apology for this, then I do appreciate you listening so far in the episode. It was engaging with low rank or low MR Street Fighter 6 was very interesting. You do come across like, I think there's some interesting talent at the lower ranks. Like maybe there's just an aspect of the game they're not really, that's preventing them from climbing higher. Maybe they just had like a really bad win streak. Who knows? But yeah, thank you so much for listening so far. If you like my content, or if you want to see me explore other aspects of Street Fighter 6, like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you all later. Bye.
Akuma, win! Round 1. Fight! Hadouken! Hadouken!